So now we have action again in Dalton. And there was an emergency board of trustee meeting where the trustees now has elected Trustee House as mayor pro tem. And he's responsible for setting the meeting agendas before city council meetings and adding emergency agenda when necessary. The mayor pro tem also fills in for the mayor whenever he or she is absent. They also have the fun role of training new city council members after their election. So we know that they elected Trustee House in this position because the mayor won't show up to these emergency meetings because there's been problems with the mayor and the board of trustees as far as transparency and money. So there's been a lot of arguments. We know that this thing that went international. You have people from all over the world tuning in and watching this to find out how this thing is going to play out. So now, they had an emergency trustee meeting. Again, the mayor didn't show up. So the trustees took action. And in the action, they elected Trustee House. So now, WGN News was on the scene to record this. Fox 32 was there. The feds is watching. Everybody's watching. Remember, I told you guys that Mayor Tiffany Henyard has less than 21 days to show up and present these informations to the feds on what they requested from her. But let's look at what WGN News actually presented when they were at this trustee meeting. Let's check that out.
New tonight, a vote puts a new plan in place in Dalton.
Trustees have chosen someone to replace the mayor if she's not there. WGN's Jenna Barnes is joining us live from tonight's meeting with more. Jenna?
Yeah, Ray and Micah, Mayor Tiffany Henyard did not attend tonight's meeting, which is no surprise, but these trustees say it is a big part of the problem. That's why they appointed a mayor pro tem tonight.
We have many cases where village business cannot go forward.
The Dalton trustees opposed to Mayor Tiffany Henyard say she's missed 25 of these special meetings and counting, and she refuses to allow some village business to be put on the agenda for the village's regular meetings. That's why 3 of them voted to appoint Jason House as mayor pro tem.
We're just really trying to make sure that if something critical comes up, that there's a signature on deck that can move it forward.
House won't replace the mayor, but he would step in her absence, which these trustees say is happening far too often.
This is just in case, but we need just in case at this moment. We have meetings where we're all waiting 45 minutes just to get started, where we have an entire quorum here and we're waiting while the administration adds makeup and gets dressed. And it's just not fair.
Their move comes amid mounting scrutiny of how the mayor runs the village and Thornton Township, the FBI serving subpoenas in both places. Henyard's top aide, Keith Freeman, charged with bankruptcy fraud, and her ally on the board of trustees and activist Andrew Holmes accused of sexual assault on a taxpayer-funded trip to Las Vegas.
We're paying these people, and it's like we're paying for them to abuse us.
We know what she is doing, and it will be stopped.
At the special meeting, the trustees also voted to make whole a waste management company whose payments were overdue, and they refused to move hundreds of thousands of dollars from one village account into another at the request of Henyard's administration because they say they received no explanation why the move was necessary. It comes a week after Henyard vetoed their hiring of former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to investigate.
How dare you think you could come in someone's town and start working or doing something, even though we said something stating it's illegal. We cited the code and everything in here, and she will not be paid for services.
Like they have done before, these trustees say they will override the mayor's veto. They tell me that'll happen at the village's board meeting in the first week of June. We're live in Dalton tonight. Jenna Barnes, WGN News.
Thank you, Jenna.
So Thornton Township, the city of Dalton, we see how disgruntled the residents are. We understand what happened with Trustee Andrew Holmes in Vegas. We've seen the sister come out that's alleging an SA assault. Trustee Holmes hasn't been charged with anything yet, but we know that there's an investigation pending. So at the last trustee meeting, the big trustee meeting where the mayor showed up, Brittany Norwood, she spoke on things that's going on there and lack of transparency, and she went on to say this.
is sad. You know, the things that I could tell you would scare you as a resident in regards to the things that the people who are over the day-to-day operation, the decisions that they make, the fact that they do not prioritize this spending, and then they come up here and say, hey, vote for this, vote for that. I found it quite interesting that we have our mayor that just sat up here and said, oh, you want receipts for the taxes? I put it on Snapchat. I found that particularly interesting considering that we've been asking for financials for months. Put that on Snapchat for us, please. We have $4 million in checks that the board have approved that have not been dispersed. The checks are on someone's desk. Whose desk? We do not know. So when we continue to ask for financials, when we make decisions, it's just responsible. You know, we were elected to do a job, and that's what we're here to do. We keep saying, hey, this spending is getting out of control. We've been saying that for months. You have Trustee Belcher just set up here and asked, hey, if we're making decisions on voting for the bills, could someone tell us about the $6.8 million grant? We didn't receive an answer. But yet, we're told that the bag is being here, the bag is present, but the bag is empty, guys. It's empty. We have, she stated, the public works. For months, Trustee House has been stating, hey, you know, we have to watch our spending. We have to prioritize the spending because we know that payouts are due for public works and police. It's coming, it's coming. You have an administration that set up here months ago and said, oh, in April, we're going to make sure that you all are reimbursed because you all do such a great job for the village. And we want to make sure that we take great care of you because we love you so much. But yet, I'm receiving calls saying that they've only received 1/3 of their money. So either we have the money or we do not. And it's extremely important that we realize that we do not have the money. If in regards to the financials, if we had the money and if they were providing us, because they just say, oh, well, we provide you with the financials, or they said we don't, and how do they know that we're in a deficit? Well, if we were provided with the information, there would be no reason for those people to be coming to our door requesting the information that they've already mysteriously provided us with. So I'm going to say, when we make financial decisions, it's not to sit here and argue, it's not to go back and forth, but it is to let the residents know that we don't have it. All of these services that you all need, we have to have some money to be able to provide you with those services. And it would just be totally irresponsible for us to continue to vote for things, negligent things. And yeah, we don't even know the village's financial true state. We just know it's $4 million on someone's desk. So thank you, residents. I hope that you have the information that you have been asking for in regards to where's the information.
So now, with all of that being said, with Trustee Norwood, how she remained calm and she just was explaining the lies that the mayor tells, and you know, and why they had to go to the national media and the media to try to get some help because they're saying that the mayor is destroying the town. She's basically just drying up all the funds, and they have no money to pay their debts. So they tried with the mayor, but the mayor wasn't listening. So she's explaining why we had to go outside of the mayor and to get some help. So now what happened at this emergency trustee meeting, they elected Trustee House. And this is what happened. This is how they did it.
For this urgent and quick meeting that we're calling so we can make sure that the bond is approved and that keeps us in good standing and good graces with our garbage disposal company. So having said that, I'll ask any other board members if there's comments on this. Okay, hearing no comments, I'll ask Clerk Keefe for a roll call.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, and item C is the discussion and authorization of an ordinance 24-005, an ordinance establishing the position of Mayor Pro Tem. So I will read the ordinance into record Whereas the Village of Dalton, the Cook County, Illinois as a home rule municipality in Section 6A of Article 7 of the 1970 Constitution, State of Illinois, and such may exercise powers pertaining to the government. Whereas the Village Board of Trustees find it in the best interest and health of the safety and welfare of the village citizens to amend the Dalton Village Code and add the appointment of a permanent mayor pro tem. Whereas the village mayor, Tiffany A. Henyard, refuses to attend special meetings, approximately 25 missed, called by the corporate authorities. Whereas Mayor Tiffany A. Henyard has refused to allow village business, except overrides and vetoes, to be put onto regular village board meeting agendas when requested by a majority of the corporate authorities since 2022. Whereas the village cannot continue to service and provide vital services to the residents without the ability of the corporate authorities to conduct the necessary business of the village, and whereas the village is under severe financial distress with the majority of the Board of Trustees not receiving financial records as requested, whereas there is no village attorney or finance director and the village administrator is under federal indictment for bankruptcy fraud, and whereas the Board of Trustees must call special meetings in the absence of the mayor in order to attend to the regular business of the village. And whereas the mayor, Tiffany A. Henyard, is frequently absent and incapable of performing the official duties of the elected mayor due to her frequent trips to other states and her refusal to attend legally called special meetings. And whereas due to the emergency necessitating its adoption, the ordinance shall be in full force and effect immediately following its passage in publications provided by 65 ILCS 51-2-4. So this would establish a mayor pro tem permanent for the Village of Dalton that will be consistent of the senior trustee unless the majority of the corporate authorities vote to appoint somebody different. So with that, I would ask for a motion that we approve ordinance 24-005. Okay, motion for Trustee Norwood. Is there a second? Second. Okay, I have a motion and a second. I will just comment briefly on this item. This is not a replacement. This ordinance is strictly in the refusal or inability for the mayor to do her duties and appoint senior trustee to step in and make sure that the necessary documents are signed and village business moves forward. That is the clear-cut intent of this, because we have many cases where village business cannot go forward. We've had to sign intergovernmental agreements with the park district.
So you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. And at the last trustee meeting, not the emergency trustee meeting the other day, the last trustee meeting last week, we got a chance to see Miss Belcher and Miss Henyard just go at it. I mean, it was super ugly. The whole world saw this. Everybody saw it. The news that's doing the investigation, the mayor, everybody got a chance to see this situation, and it was ugly. It was real ugly. But let's revisit and let's look at Mayor Tiffany Henyard and Trustee Belcher and just how they just went at each other. Check this out.
Because you guys ran on my ticket, both of y'all, Trustee Belcher and Trustee House. Both y'all did. And when you ran on my ticket, y'all ran on my vision. My vision is to fix our community.
The vision wasn't to rob the city. The vision wasn't for the FBI. The vision wasn't for you to steal all the money. So don't start talking about the vision. You know that is defamation. Don't start talking about the vision. Don't talk about the vision. Tell me what. But let them do it. What you talking about? You say stuff and don't answer nobody. Too. And that's the people of the village of Dalton. Now, you don't want to answer these people. don't want to talk about nothing else, though, right? You don't want to people. Ladies and gentlemen, quiet down. Ladies and gentlemen, quiet down.
You here for the president. I can do a lot. And I video down every time I hear something.
Order. Order. Ladies and gentlemen, quiet down.
I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you say it's discussion. I asked you, did we get $6.5
$1.8 million? You won't answer that. I'm telling you, these people, you can't tell me nothing. These people are emailing us about somebody else's property, talking about they want $7,000. These people. So when you sit here and talk about what have I done, I don't have to sit here and videotape everything I do. But I know what I ain't done. I ain't commingled no money. I ain't stole no money. And I ain't going to jail. Ladies and gentlemen, quiet down. That's what I ain't going to jail. That's what I ain't going to jail. Don't worry about it. That's what I ain't done. You going to jail. Don't worry about it. Nah, because I asked you a question. That's $6.8 million. That's what I told you yesterday. Because you ain't call your phone. The email said Tiffany Henyard responded and was going to let me know this morning. So where's the response? All right, we gonna wrap it up. Bring it back up. All right, you don't want the truth. You don't want the truth.
I'll say this in closing. The mayor has less than 21 days to turn in files to the feds. You have many people doing investigations, from lawyers to the news stations to the feds to so many different people. We're waiting to see how this is going to turn out. It looks very ugly, and this isn't just the only city, Dalton, but there's many cities across America that's like this. Right now, the cameras and the attention is just on Dalton, Illinois, and Mayor Tiffany Henyard. She hasn't been charged with anything yet, but we know the charges is pending and charges is coming. We know that the Delgado firm dropped out. We seen them back on at the last trustee meeting. We seen them back there again. Again, everybody's waiting to see how this is going to play out. And I hope that different cities and municipalities can look at this and learn from this, because this has went national and international, and it's very embarrassing. Very embarrassing. But as more of this come out, I'm going to report more of this. We almost at the 21 days where she has to turn it in, and everybody's waiting with bated breath. We're all waiting to see what's going to happen. We all remember that $500,000 check where the feds came in and locked that man up in that check cashing place. We see Keith Freeman has already been being charged. So we see things already taking form. But we're waiting for the 21 days and see how this thing is going to play out. But until then, I'm going to keep reporting this. As long as information come out, I'm going to keep reporting to you guys out there. So if you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comments section. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.